Have you heard of the phenomenon called quiet quitting? And isn't it really just another term for work-life balance? We discuss it all here on Chat Room. Alright, you may have seen the term quiet quitting floating around on TikTok lately. Well, what is it? Is it even an accurate term? I don't know if you've seen this, John, but it's a video that went quite viral by somebody going by Zayd Leplin, which is very hard to say as a play on Led Zeppelin. But it was essentially them kind of talking about essentially just setting boundaries at work. So I'm getting a lot of this from an NPR article, and they give examples as closing your laptop at the end of the day, doing only your assigned task, actually spending time with your family. And those are just a few of the examples. I think, and kind of the article kind of says this too, that really the emphasis on the term quitting doesn't even really make sense. I mean, it just sounds like work-life balance, which is something that, especially over the last few years, we've all kind of tried to figure out and manage. I know you and I have definitely, had thoughts on office life, whether it's, where we work or just in general, and kind of what you do if you're hourly versus salary, and just kind of setting up those boundaries. So what do you think about that, kind of just in general, about that divide between your personal life and your work life?
I definitely think, just in life in general, no matter what you do, there's got to be like that. You've got to map it out into percentages like each day. So, I know my life's kind of like a 50-60% work, like a 30%, 25% like family, friends, and then about 10% just like free time. So a lot of it's spent on like this podcast, fishing, just kind of to keep your mind at peace, because you always need your peace in life. So, but you have to buy things, so you have to work, you have to make money, and so I think you just have to divide it. I definitely agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, and a big part of what they focus on is really twofold, which is one, you can easily get burned out with work, and you definitely don't want to do that. That's all the things you mentioned are much more, relaxing, and it's important to spend time with your family, of course. But also
Right.
for Gen Z especially, they're talking about how they're kind of advocating for themselves more, and something where, a boss may be like, hey, do you mind staying a few minutes after to work on this? Gen Z might be like, I don't mind, but, or, I'm going to get paid for this.
Right.
So basically making clear lines of, like sometimes I'll go above and beyond, but I expect some compensation for said above and beyond.
Right.
Is that something that you kind of feel yourself, or do you at least agree that that's a very Gen Z phenomenon?
Yeah, I would agree that it's a Gen Z thing for sure.
Yeah, I think even like with millennials, especially now because of the last couple years and just how odd workplaces have been, it's the
Right.
kind of thing where I see even kind of older employees who used to maybe like have even more company loyalty have kind of seen that loyalty is not always come back.
Yeah.
So I guess not too surprising that Gen Z is kind of taking the lead here.
Yeah.
And yeah, interesting to see kind of how this expands. And I do agree with the article that's saying that it's not quitting, When I first saw that and thought whether this would be a good topic, I was very confused to read. I'm like, oh, they're literally just talking about this is when I work. This is when I have a home life, and making a distinction. So I totally agree with that.
Yeah, having too much of a work life is definitely unhealthy. I mean, your pockets might be full, but is that happiness for you? And for some people, it really is. Like I know Elon Musk, he's always doing interviews and stuff, and he loves to work. Like that's his most important thing is running. I think he has like 3 big companies, if not more. But if that makes him happy, then that's the way his family operates around him. They know that that's where his peace is. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
For me, it's totally opposite. I'm more happy with family, doing fun things, hanging out with friends, fishing, doing this podcast, and I'm not all about work, and that's okay too, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not even to say that we dislike work, it's just that we realize life is short.
Yeah.
So you need to, capture those moments while you can.
Yeah. And like I mentioned before, it's more than just like, I keep using Elon as an example, but I've heard him say in interviews, he feels like he has a mission to serve to the public. So that's like the energy. It's not that he just likes working and being away from his family. You know what I mean? It's more of like he feels like that's the purpose why he's on Earth, is he has a mission. He needs to figure out how to get us to space. He needs to figure out how to get us electrical cars and blah, blah, blah. But
yeah,
you know what I mean? There's a huge purpose, and I'm sure his wife, his kids, his family, his parents, if they're still alive, like they realize that. And, I think there's no wrong answer. I don't feel like that's my purpose to be on this earth, but
yeah. Man, I was really counting on you to get us to space, John. So
yeah,
this is really disappointing for me right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe in the next life if we reincarnate or something, but
yeah. But yeah, no, totally get that. And we're curious what you think. Have you had to kind of really set your own boundaries? Have you ever considered, the phenomenon of quiet quitting? What do you even think of the term? Let us know. And as always, like and subscribe for more videos. We appreciate you being here in chat room.
See you.